Hello and welcome to the Speak Up podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have all our new and returning listeners here with us today. Our topic for this exciting episode is a game changer for mastering English, why reading is so important for improving your English skills. Learning English fast and speaking English confidently can happen simply by making reading a daily habit. How can reading help you expand your vocabulary, sharpen your grammar, and boost your overall fluency? Stay tuned, because we're about to reveal an exclusive reading method that could transform your learning journey. And Priya, how are you today?
Hi, Ryan. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Hello to all our dedicated listeners. I'm Priya, and I'm excited to jump right into today's topic. Reading is a cornerstone of effective English learning because it immerses you in the language, offering exposure to proper grammar, idiomatic expressions, and rich vocabulary. Through reading, you not only learn English fast, but also build the confidence to speak English fluently in daily conversation. Today, we'll explore how this simple habit can unlock a treasure trove of language skills and transform your learning journey. Stay tuned for exclusive insights and practical tips to supercharge your English skills.
First, let's dive into how reading serves as a powerful English vocabulary builder. When you read diverse texts, whether it's novels, articles, or blogs, you're naturally picking up new words in context. This approach gives you practical ways to learn new words without even trying too hard. For example, keeping a small notebook to jot down unfamiliar words, then looking them up later, follows the idea behind how to expand your English vocabulary and tips to memorize English words. Over time, this method helps you learn English fast and builds the foundation for smooth daily English conversation. It's all about letting your brain absorb language naturally as you enjoy the reading experience.
I completely agree, Ryan. Reading isn't just a leisure activity, it's a strategic tool for boosting your vocabulary. When you encounter new words repeatedly in different contexts, it reinforces your learning without overwhelming you. This natural exposure makes it easier to adopt new expressions and idioms, which are key for learning English fast and enhancing daily conversation skills. By integrating these practical tips into your reading routine, you gradually build a robust vocabulary that supports fluent, confident speaking. It's a simple yet effective way to see real progress in your language journey.
Building on that, think about every sentence as a mini lesson. Each page you turn introduces you to grammar, context, and usage that you might not learn from a textbook. This method not only supports an English vocabulary builder, but also helps solidify your understanding of how words are used naturally. As you read, you start connecting words with ideas, which accelerates your ability to learn English fast. Moreover, this regular practice makes engaging in daily English conversation more intuitive. It's an organic way to transition from passive recognition to active use of language, creating a smoother, more confident speaking experience.
Exactly, Ryan. To make the most of this approach, try to incorporate reading into your daily routine consistently. Whether it's a few pages of a favorite book or a quick online article, every bit counts. By doing this, you not only follow the steps of how to expand your English vocabulary and tips to memorize English words, but also prepare yourself for real-life conversations. The more you read, the more naturally you'll start using those words in your speech, transforming your learning into a fluid, enjoyable experience. This steady practice lays a solid foundation for improved fluency and confidence in English.
Now, let's take a closer look at how regular reading can naturally boost your grammar skills. When you immerse yourself in well-structured texts, you begin to see how English grammar made easy isn't just a concept. It becomes a natural part of your learning. Each carefully crafted sentence acts like a mini lesson in structure and style. By consistently reading, you can identify patterns that help you pinpoint common English mistakes and even fix English grammar mistakes without overwhelming you with endless rules. This approach shows you grammar in action, turning abstract rules into practical everyday language habits that build your confidence and fluency.
Now, let's focus on this approach even deeper. When you read quality content regularly, you start noticing the natural flow of language and proper sentence patterns. This organic exposure helps you understand how grammar works without needing to memorize complex rules. As you read, you naturally learn to spot errors and correct them on your own, which makes the idea of fix English grammar mistakes much less daunting. This method transforms the learning process, allowing you to internalize correct grammar usage through context rather than rote memorization, making your journey to fluent English both enjoyable and effective.
Let's build on that. Every time you pick up a book or an article, you get a first-hand demonstration of how sentences are built and how punctuation and structure work together seamlessly. This continuous exposure reinforces correct language patterns, so you can naturally adopt them in your own speech and writing. Reading in this way turns challenging grammar concepts into intuitive lessons. Over time, you start using these patterns effortlessly, making English grammar made easy. This method is a smart, stress-free way to learn that gradually shapes your ability to write and speak with clarity and precision.
Absolutely, Ryan. The beauty of this approach is that it feels less like formal study and more like engaging with a great story. Every paragraph and sentence you read acts as a subtle reminder of how language should flow, which gradually improves your grammatical skills without the pressure of memorizing rules. This natural assimilation helps you overcome common pitfalls and boosts your confidence in speaking and writing. By making reading a daily habit, you're not only enhancing your grammar, but also developing a more intuitive understanding of English that truly sets the stage for fluent, confident communication.
Now, let's focus on this: enhancing pronunciation and fluency through reading. When you read aloud, you're not just processing the words. You're actively practicing English pronunciation tips that fine-tune your intonation and rhythm. This practice is key for English accent training, as it helps you become aware of subtle sounds and stresses in the language. By incorporating the shadowing technique for fluency, where you listen to and mimic native speakers, you reduce hesitation and train your speech muscles. This method bridges the gap between reading and speaking, setting you on the path to articulate clearly and confidently. It's a dynamic way to build fluency while enjoying your reading experience.
Now, let's build on that idea. When you engage in reading aloud, you're effectively creating a mini practice session that focuses on pronunciation and natural expression. Techniques like the shadowing technique for fluency allow you to closely follow a native speaker's pace and rhythm, which is crucial for reducing hesitation. This exercise not only sharpens your English accent training, but also boosts your overall confidence when speaking. Over time, this regular practice turns into a powerful tool for speaking English confidently and naturally. It's all about turning every reading session into a chance to fine-tune your speech, making each word sound more authentic.
Let's expand on this further. Incorporating daily reading aloud into your routine creates a consistent feedback loop for your language skills. As you practice, your brain starts to internalize correct pronunciation and natural phrasing, making it easier to recall and articulate words during conversations. This method isn't just about reading, it's about transforming written language into spoken language. With tools like the shadowing technique, you're mimicking native speakers in real time, which gradually erases hesitation and builds fluency. The beauty of this approach is that it's both effective and enjoyable, turning language practice into a seamless part of your day.
Exactly, Ryan. What makes this approach so compelling is its adaptability. Whether you're reading a news article, a novel, or even a poem, every text offers a unique opportunity to practice and refine your pronunciation. By shadowing native speakers, you capture the natural flow of the language, which in turn makes your speech more fluid and confident. This practice directly contributes to speaking English confidently and naturally, as it reinforces correct pronunciation patterns and builds a strong linguistic foundation. With consistent practice, you'll notice a significant improvement in how effortlessly you communicate, making each conversation more engaging and true to the language.
All right, let's dive into how immersing yourself in idioms, cultural nuances, and everyday expressions can really elevate your English. When you dive into various reading materials, you naturally encounter English idioms and phrases that go beyond textbook examples. These texts reveal cultural nuances, subtle hints about humor, traditions, and everyday expressions that bring the language to life. This exposure helps you understand native speakers and learn how to think in English naturally. By experiencing these elements in context, you move away from rote memorization and start to feel the language, which makes your communication much more authentic and engaging.
Exactly, Ryan. Reading in this way really opens your eyes to how language works in real life. When you see idioms used naturally, their meanings become clear, and you learn to use them effortlessly in conversation. It's not just about memorizing phrases. It's about understanding the context behind them. This method lets you pick up cultural cues and adapt your language to different situations, making you more confident and natural in your speech. Engaging with real-life texts makes learning English feel like a conversation, not a chore.
Right, Priya. And what's really exciting is how this approach helps you start thinking directly in English. As you absorb these authentic expressions and cultural details, you begin to internalize the rhythm and flow of the language. This means you're less likely to translate from your native language, allowing your speech to become more fluid. The process of learning through context transforms abstract rules into lived experiences, making it easier to remember and use expressions naturally. It's a powerful way to build both your vocabulary and your cultural understanding.
Absolutely, Ryan. The beauty of this immersive reading approach is that it turns every page into a mini language lesson. When you encounter idioms and cultural references in context, you learn how native speakers really communicate. This not only boosts your confidence, but also refines your sense of tone and timing in conversations. By experiencing language as it's truly used, you develop a more instinctive grasp of English. That's the secret to sounding like a native. Absorbing and applying the language naturally, which makes your overall fluency much more dynamic and engaging.
Let's talk about building advanced English skills through reading. One of the most exciting benefits of reading regularly is how it lays the groundwork for more sophisticated language abilities. When you immerse yourself in different writing styles, from articles to literature, you encounter complex sentence structures and a rich variety of vocabulary. This exposure not only helps you improve your writing skills naturally, but also trains you to express ideas more clearly. It's a practical way to boost both your ability to improve English writing skills and engage in effective English listening practice by tuning your ear to diverse language patterns.
I completely agree, Ryan. The more you read, the more you pick up on the nuances of language, which has a direct impact on both your writing and listening. As you navigate through different texts, you start noticing how professional writers structure their thoughts and express emotions, and this in turn refines your own writing style. Moreover, the exposure to varied language styles naturally enhances your listening skills as you learn to recognize and understand different accents and speech patterns. It's this cumulative effect of reading that steadily builds your overall language proficiency.
Exactly, Priya. With every book or article you read, you're essentially adding another layer to your language foundation. This continuous learning process improves your English writing skills by providing you with numerous examples of effective communication, from punctuation to sentence rhythm. At the same time, it sharpens your listening abilities because you become accustomed to the flow and cadence of the language. Over time, these small improvements add up, making you a more confident and articulate speaker and writer.
Absolutely, Ryan. Consistency is key here. By making reading a regular habit, you're not only enhancing your writing with correct grammar and creative expression, but also boosting your listening skills by familiarizing yourself with natural speech patterns. This dual benefit creates a solid foundation for advanced language skills, enabling you to communicate more effectively and confidently. Ultimately, every page you read contributes to a broader understanding of English, making your journey to language mastery both progressive and rewarding.
Now finally, let's talk about some practical strategies. Integrating reading into your daily routine can really transform your English learning journey. For those who learn English at home, try setting aside a dedicated time each day, even if it's just 15 minutes, to read something engaging like short stories, news articles, or blog posts. You can explore free English learning resources or use the best apps to learn English to keep your routine varied and exciting. This consistent practice builds your vocabulary, improves your grammar, and ultimately leads to long-term fluency without the overwhelm of formal study. Small, regular efforts can have a huge cumulative impact on your language skills.
Absolutely, Ryan. One effective strategy is to diversify what you read. Switch between different genres, fiction, nonfiction, and even digital articles to keep your learning fresh. While reading, make a habit of jotting down new words or expressions, then review them later to reinforce your learning. This approach not only enhances your vocabulary, but also deepens your understanding of natural language usage. Additionally, discussing what you've read with others, or even summarizing it in your own words, can boost both your comprehension and speaking skills. These little daily habits pave the way for continuous improvement in your English.
Exactly, Priya. Think of reading as a flexible tool that adapts to your interests and pace. Try different formats, like ebooks, interactive apps, or even audiobooks, to see what works best for you. Reading in a relaxed, enjoyable setting can make the process feel less like formal study and more like a personal adventure in learning. As you incorporate these habits into your routine, you'll notice that your English skills steadily improve, making everyday conversations feel more natural and confident. It's all about creating a sustainable learning environment that works around your lifestyle.
And as we wrap up today's episode, we want to thank you for tuning in to Speak Up. Every page you read is a step forward in your journey to mastering English. Remember, even a few minutes each day can make a big difference over time. We hope these practical strategies inspire you to make reading an integral part of your routine. Thank you all for joining us today, and we appreciate your commitment to learning. Stay curious, keep reading, and we'll see you next time on Speak Up.